Steel Hammer Gym was not a pretty place. It didn't have fans or air conditioning. There was no music playing. No cool posters on the wall. No sunlight let in. What it did have were old mirrors that had cracks in them. The floor mats had red stains from rust and sweat. And the smell? It was like hard work had never left the room. The sweat seemed to live on the walls like old memories that wouldn't go away. The only sound louder than fists hitting punching bags was the voice of Coach Logan Cruz. His voice was loud, scratchy, and always yelling like he was mad. "Again!" he shouted. Spit flew out of his mouth. Veins popped on his neck as he screamed. "You call that a punch? My grandmother hits harder than that. And she's been dead for 10 years. He stomped his big boot on the floor to make a loud boom. It made a kid jump. The kid had just dropped his hands for a second. Big mistake. In the corner of the gym, another boy was trying to do a push-up. His arms were shaking. One wrist looked hurt. He was wearing cloth wraps around it, like bandages. "Coach," someone whispered. It was soft. Almost too soft to hear. But Coach Logan heard it. He turned around quickly. His eyes were sharp, like broken glass. "Then he better learn to punch with the other hand," Logan growled. No one laughed. Logan wasn't funny. He was scared. He acted like a soldier. Like someone giving a speech no one wanted to hear. He didn't believe in making people feel good. He believed in pain. Pain made boys into men, he said. Pain showed who was strong and who was not. That was how things worked in Steel Hammer Gym. One of the boys, Eli Reyes, was 19 years old. He was thin but strong. He had muscles, but also lots of questions in his head. Eli Reyes liked to stay quiet. He stayed close to the edge of the group. He moved his fists in the air, like pretend fighting. That's called shadowboxing. He didn't swing hard. He moved carefully, like someone who had watched for a long time but hadn't spoken much. But today felt different. He looked over and saw Malik, the boy with the sore wrist, wincing after each move. Malik was sweating, but he looked cold. He looked like he might faint. Before Eli Reyes could stop himself, he said it out loud. "Coach, maybe Malik should sit this one out. Just for today." The whole room went quiet. It was that kind of silence where something big was about to happen. Logan turned around like a storm had hit him. "What did you say, Eli Reyes?" he asked. His voice wasn't loud now. It was heavy, like a big hammer hitting a wall. "Are you running this gym now?" Logan asked. "Are you handing out excuses?" Eli Reyes opened his mouth to speak. Then he closed it. His chest moved up and down as he breathed. "I just think." "Don't think. Don't talk." Logan shouted, pointing a finger like it could cut through steel. "You either train or you leave. That's the rule here. This isn't daycare. This isn't therapy. This is a furnace. Steel gets made on fire, not in feelings." Eli Reyes didn't say anything else. He stepped back into the line. He closed his mouth, but his eyes still looked upset. One of the older boxers, maybe in his 30s, walked by Eli Reyes as they changed stations. He leaned in and whispered, "Kid, this isn't about what's right or wrong. This is the forge. If you can't survive the fire, you don't belong." Eli Reyes didn't answer. He threw a punch. Then another. But something felt off. His punches were still strong. But inside, something had changed. Something had shifted. No one knew. No one remembered. But Logan Cruz, the loud, angry coach, used to be a student once. A long, long time ago. Before all the yelling. Before he got bitter and mean. Logan had a coach, too. His name was Coach Navarro. Coach Navarro was different. He was calm. He taught slowly. He didn't yell much. He listened. Navarro believed in balance. He believed you had to train the inside as well as the outside. But after Logan lost his first pro fight, everything changed. He stopped believing in balance. He buried Navarro's ideas under piles of anger and shouting. He told himself that being scary was enough. And for a while, it was. But now, the cracks were starting to show again. They were in Eli Reyes's hesitation. They were in Malik's pain. They were in silence after Logan stopped yelling. Steel Hammer Gym still looked the same, but deep inside, something had started to bend. The rain tapped on the gym windows like slow clock hands. Outside, the streets were wet and gray. Inside, everything felt the same. Dust in the air, gloves hitting bags, and Logan's voice, cutting through like a knife. "Keep your hands up. This ain't ballet," he yelled. Jump ropes slapped the floor. Punches smacked the bags. Sweat covered everything like sticky wallpaper. And then, the door opened. It didn't bang. It didn't squeak. It just slowly opened. Quiet. Everyone looked. Standing in the doorway, with rain behind him and silence around him, was a man in a black coat. He wore a cap. His shoes looked old, not stylish, just used a lot. He didn't say a word, but the whole room felt it. Some fighters slowed their punches. The younger ones stopped completely. Then Leo the whispers. "Wait, is that? No way. That's him. That's Jason, that's Rocky." It wasn't his real name, but that's what everyone called him. Because of the movies. Because he never gave up. To some of the kids, he was like a superhero made of sweat and heart. To others, he was the reason they even started boxing. But to Coach Logan Cruz, he was something else. Logan looked up from across the gym. At first, he didn't care. But then he saw the walk. The way the man moved, like someone who had been through hard things and kept going anyway. Logan's mouth twisted. Well, he said loud enough for everyone to hear. "Look who wandered in. Are you filming Rocky 12 in the wrong city? Or just lost on your way to Hollywood?" Jason didn't answer. He didn't have to. He just walked along the wall, looking around with calm eyes and hands in his coat pockets. He didn't pay attention. He held it. And that made Logan mad in a way he didn't understand. No one laughed. Maybe a few nervous chuckles. But they didn't last. Even the punching bag stopped swinging so loud. Logan stood straighter. He wiped his hands with a towel, even though they weren't that sweaty. Jason walked over to an old photo on the wall. It was Coach Navarro smiling, with two young men standing next to him. One was a young Logan. The other, a young Jason. Logan didn't move, but his jaw tightened. He turned to his assistant, a strong man named Lennox. He spoke quietly, like a secret he hadn't told in years. "I auditioned once. Back in 1978. Got a call. Thought I had it. They said I was too stiff. Too angry. I was gonna be in Rocky 2. Didn't even get to throw one punch." Lennox didn't say anything. He didn't have to. Logan looked back at the man walking across his gym like a ghost. "I used to dream about being Rocky," he said softly. "Now I train kids who don't even dream." There it was. Not just anger, but sadness. Jason didn't just bring memories. He brought everything Logan had buried for years. Yelling, bruises, regrets. It was all coming back. The gym was quiet again. Even the clock ticked softer. And in that stillness, something was about to change. Jason stopped walking. He turned around and looked right into Logan's eyes. They didn't say anything. They didn't need to. But something had already changed. It wasn't over. Not yet. It all happened right there, in the middle of the gym. Inside the boxing ring. Under the buzzing lights that blink sometimes. Those lights had seen lots of fights, lots of punches, and many bruised hands. Eli Reyes, a young boy in the gym, stepped forward. He didn't run. He wasn't scared. But he wasn't fully sure either. Still, he was ready. His voice was soft, but everyone could hear him. "Mr. Jason," he said, wiping his sweaty hands on his shorts, "can you show me something?" Everyone in the gym stopped. Logan laughed, a mean laugh, not a happy one. He said, "Show you what, kid? How to throw a fake movie punch." Logan turned to the others and said loudly, "What do we do now? Take acting lessons during fight time." Some younger fighters looked around. They didn't know if they should laugh or stay quiet. So they did nothing. The room didn't change. It just stayed still. Jason looked at Eli Reyes. Then he looked down. Then back at Eli Reyes. "When you're ready," he said calmly, "come at me." He didn't look mad. He didn't act tough. He just took off his coat. Underneath, he wore a plain black hoodie. His hands didn't look like actor hands. They looked strong, like they had done real things. He stood very still. His arms hung down. His feet were balanced. Eli Reyes waited. He didn't know what would happen. He threw a slow punch. He didn't want to hurt Jason. He just wanted to see what would happen. In one quick move, Jason stepped aside. He caught Eli Reyes's wrist with just 2 fingers. He turned a little bit and used Eli Reyes's own punch to make him fall. Eli Reyes slipped and hit the mat. Thud. It didn't look like a fight. There was no yelling, no hitting, just a gentle fall. Everyone went quiet. Logan raised his eyebrow. He folded his arms. Eli Reyes sat up, blinking. "Again?" he asked. Jason nodded once. Eli Reyes stood back up. He brushed dust off his elbow. Then he tried again, faster this time. He punched with a simple combo, jab cross. Jason didn't punch back. He caught the second punch gently with his left hand. He turned his shoulder and used Eli Reyes's energy to spin him around like a leaf in the wind. Eli Reyes fell again. It still wasn't violent. It was soft, controlled. The gym went even quieter. Someone whispered, "He didn't even hit him." Eli Reyes got up again. This time, he was breathing differently. He wasn't nervous anymore. He was focused. He didn't say anything. He rushed in again, not to hurt, but to try hard. Jason moved again. He stepped to the side, gently grabbed Eli Reyes's arm, twisted it behind his back, and moved his knee behind Eli Reyes's leg. Eli Reyes fell one more time. Quiet. Controlled. It didn't look fancy. But it was clear, Jason knew something powerful. No one laughed. No one shouted. Even Logan had stopped walking. The gym, which was always noisy, now felt like a library. Then, from the corner of the room, a small voice said, "Why isn't he smiling? He's not showing off." Another kid answered, "He's not trying to win. He's teaching." Eli Reyes sat up again. His face was red, not because he was embarrassed, but because he understood something. He looked at Jason and whispered, "How are you doing that?" Jason didn't say anything. He just helped the boy up and nodded. Then he turned to Logan. Logan had his arms crossed. His face didn't show any feeling. "You teach power," Jason said calmly. "I teach control." Logan replied quickly, "Control doesn't win fights." Jason looked him in the eye. "Neither does rage," he said. The words were soft, but they hit hard. The gym was silent. Something had cracked. Not loud like glass. Quiet like a heart understanding something new. The idea that the meanest wins was now in question. And Jason, the man who didn't throw a single punch, had made everyone think. Eli Reyes stood tall. He didn't look confused anymore. He looked like something inside him had changed. He had learned something new, and it wouldn't go away. Fighters all across the floor weren't looking at Logan now. They were watching Jason. He picked up his coat. He nodded to no one. And he walked away like nothing happened. But something had happened. Something big. Something loud without making a sound. The next morning. The next day, the sun Leo into the steel hammer gym. The windows looked cleaner. Maybe the rain had washed them. Maybe the broken light had finally started working again. The gym looked the same. But it didn't feel the same. Eli Reyes was already on the mat. He didn't have gloves on. He wasn't punching the bag. He was moving slowly, working on his steps. He stepped in circles. He breathed deeply through his nose. He let his hands stay soft, not fists. 2 younger fighters sat and watched. "What are you doing?" one asked. Eli Reyes didn't stop moving. He said, "Balance. Breath." "But it's not in the training program," the kid said. Still, Eli Reyes kept moving. Calm. Focused. When another fighter asked Eli Reyes to show a move, he did. He didn't make it fancy. He kept it simple. He moved in a way that made you think, not just fight. For a while, the gym felt peaceful. Less like a war zone, more like a dojo, a place to learn. Then Logan walked in. He wasn't late. He was never late. But this time, not everyone looked at him. Some did. Some didn't. He noticed. His eyes searched the room. Then they found Eli Reyes. Eli Reyes was still barefoot. Still flowing through his steps like the gym didn't even matter. Logan dropped his bag and yelled, "Eli Reyes. Center of the mat. Let's go." Eli Reyes paused. He looked over, not scared. Just calm. "For what?" he asked. Logan stepped forward. "We spar," he said. "You've had your little lesson. Now show us if it mattered." Eli Reyes didn't move. "Coach," he said quietly, "it's not about fighting back. It's about guiding through." Logan frowned. "What does that even mean?" "It means," Eli Reyes said, "I don't have to throw a punch to win." The gym went again. Logan stepped onto the mat. He cracked his knuckles. "You think you're better than us now," he said. "Better than the way we do things?" Eli Reyes shook his head. "No," he said. "I just think there's more than one way." Logan's voice dropped low but strong. "You really gonna say that old man changed your life in one afternoon?" Eli Reyes looked straight at him. "No, coach," he said. "You did. But I had to see what you used to be, before you changed." Logan didn't move. Then he made a sound like a laugh mixed with a growl. "So you choose Jason?" Eli Reyes didn't answer right away. Then he said, "I chose how I felt when I wasn't afraid." That was it. Logan turned to the rest of the gym. He pointed at the door. "Then get out," he shouted. "You don't train here if you won't bleed here." The room went still. Eli Reyes didn't argue. He picked up his bag. He nodded at a few young fighters. Some wanted to go with him, but didn't. Then Eli Reyes walked out. No drama. No big speech. Just the sound of the door creaking open. Logan watched him go. He stood there for a long time. Arms crossed. Eyes not really looking at anything. Then he turned to Lennox, his assistant. Logan said in a quiet voice, "He's walking the same road I did. The only difference is, he doesn't hate anybody for it." Lennox didn't say anything. He couldn't. Because something had changed again. And for the first time, Logan wasn't shouting. He was whispering. Later that night, the gym was dark. Closed. Quiet. Logan sat at his desk. The only light is Leo from his laptop. He wasn't yelling. He wasn't coaching. Just sitting. Thinking. On the screen, a video was paused. It showed the exact moment Jason used Eli Reyes' own punch to make him fall. Logan hit play. He watched it again. The move was simple. The fall was clean. It didn't look fake. It didn't look like a movie. It looked real. That's what made it powerful. The video had gone viral. It was all over TikTok and Instagram. Rocky teaches real power. Old coach meets silence. Legacy redefined. That's what the caption said. Logan kept watching. And the gym, which once was all about shouting and hitting, was now filled with something else. Silence. And maybe, understanding. He watched the comments on the side of the screen. Some people were mean. Most were just being honest. They said things about Logan. Not lies. Just things that were hard to hear. Jason didn't try to make Logan feel bad. He just showed the truth. Logan closed the window. He opened a new one. He typed Jason boxing in the search box. He clicked on an old video. It was Jason talking about when he made his first Rocky movie. Jason said he ran in old shoes. He boxed in front of a mirror in a tiny, broken apartment. He wrote the whole story in just 3 days. He even sold his dog because he had no money. And he said no to big movie people who wanted to buy the story. Because he wanted to act in it himself. Even when he had nothing, Jason kept going. Logan leaned back in his chair. His jaw was tight. But not because he was mad. It was because he felt something hard to explain. Something deep inside. He clicked more videos. Jason trained with real boxers. He got bruises. Hurt ribs. There were videos of him getting hit. He didn't scream. He didn't yell. He helped others with small hand taps, soft words. In one video, Jason was talking at a police class. He said something quiet, but powerful. If you throw to hurt, you miss the lesson. If you try to connect, you learn to fight. Logan stopped the video. He just sat there, thinking. Then, he opened an old drawer. Inside were notebooks, papers, and old gym schedules. At the bottom, in a stained notebook, he found a photo. It was faded and black and white. There were 3 people in it. Coach Navarro was in the middle, with his arms around 2 young men. One boy looked very young, trying to look tough. That was Logan. The other was quiet, with long hair and a half smile. He wore a big, baggy sweatshirt. That boy was Jason. Logan stared at the picture. He touched the edges with his thumb. It felt rough and old. He remembered that day. Coach Navarro had made them train in silence. No music. No shouting. Just breathing and moving. Logan hated it. He wanted to hit something. He wanted noise. Jason didn't talk much that day either. But when they spared, Logan couldn't land a clean hit. Even though Logan was stronger, faster, and louder, Jason always found a way around it. Logan had forgotten that. He had buried that memory under medals and years of yelling. He thought power was in noise. But maybe it was in silence. Coach Navarro used to say, "The louder a man trains his fighters, the more he's hiding from them." Logan always trained loud, because silence made him doubt himself. And he hated that feeling. But now, the silence was back. He closed the laptop. The screen turned black. He saw his reflection. He looked older. Not tired, just real. Like someone had peeled away the mask. He placed the photo on the desk. Sat still. And then, without warning, tears Leo. Not crying. Just a few lines of water, running down his cheeks. It wasn't sadness. It wasn't a shame. It was a memory. He remembered who he was. What he gave up. How far he had gone from the boy in that picture. He wiped his face. Then I looked at the photo again. This time, he didn't see a rival. He saw a mirror. 2 students. Same coach. One forgot the lesson. One belittling it. That night, the streetlights flickered outside. Inside, Logan sat in the dark. He didn't try to break the silence. He let it stay. The door opened quietly. No one rushed in. No loud entrance. Just soft footsteps. Logan walked into a small martial arts center. It was hidden between a laundromat and a dollar store. No ring. Just mats. Mirrors. And silence. The kind of silence you earn. He didn't talk. He didn't shout. He just watched. On the mat, barefoot and calm, Jason was moving through slow steps. With a small group of students. No yelling. No fast punches. Just quiet, controlled motion. When he spoke, it was soft. His hands showed students where to move. What to fix. They listened because they wanted to. Not because they were scared. Logan looked around. He saw a kid, Eli Reyes. Eli Reyes was helping 2 smaller boys. Showing them how to stand. How to move without pushing too hard. He crouched and whispered something to one of the boys. The boy smiled. Logan saw that. And it hit him. Eli Reyes wasn't yelling. Wasn't trying to be cool. He was teaching. Just like Coach Navarro used to do. Softly. With care. Logan remembered those days. When Coach made him walk figure 8s for an hour. No punching. No noise. Just walking. Logan used to call it boring. Weak. Until he got hurt in a fight. For trying to show off too much. Too loud. The sound of bare feet on mats brought him back. Jason ended the class. He bowed. The students bowed back. No claps. No noise. Just respect. Some kids stretched. Some packed up. No one ran out. Eli Reyes helped the 2 boys pack up gear. Jason walked toward Logan. Not too close. He didn't even look right at him. He just said, "A good teacher doesn't need to be known. He needs to be felt." Then he walked away. Logan didn't answer. He didn't need to. The words felt heavy, but in a good way. He stayed longer, just watching. When he left, no one stopped him. But for the first time, he didn't need to feel like a boss. He didn't need to prove anything. He just needed to listen, to earn his way back, not with fear, but with presence. The next morning, the Steel Hammer Gym opened, just after 6 a.m. No shouts, no stomps, just the soft squeak of hinges. The lights turned on one by one, soft buzzing, not too bright. The gym was waking up. Logan walked in, clipboard in one hand, coffee in the other. He didn't yell. He didn't tell everyone what to do. He just walked around the gym, stopped near one student, helped fix an elbow, near another, showed how to move a foot better. Just taps, nods, small moves. No one talked back. They just worked. The gym felt lighter, like people could breathe again. In the corner, a small kid was practicing jabs. He slipped, fell, hit the mat hard. Everyone held their breath. They waited for Logan to yell. But Logan didn't yell. He walked over, knelt down, and handed the boy a towel. He checked the boy's arm, helped him up, pat his back gently, told him to drink water. No shouting, just care. The gym stayed quiet, not from fear, but because something special had just happened. Later, someone taped a photo to the wall. It was just printed on paper. In the photo, Logan stood behind Eli Reyes during training. They were in sync. No trophies, no flashing lights, just a moment. Someone wrote under it with a black marker, "Respect is louder than pride." No one asked who put it up. No one took it down. Around noon, Logan checked his email. Among junk and orders, one subject line stood out: Youth Regional Invitational, Coach Confirmation. He clicked. Steel Hammer Gym had been picked. They didn't even have to apply. It was an invitation. And next to the name for lead fighter, Eli Reyes. Logan leaned back. Didn't smile. But his jaw relaxed. He almost typed something. Then he turned his chair and looked out the window. Kids were training. Focused. Calm. Eli Reyes wasn't there. But his teaching was. In every move. Every breath. Logan wasn't trying to be the best anymore. He was trying to help them be better. Quietly. Completely. Without yelling. The arena for the tournament was loud. Coaches shouting. Gloves hitting. Music playing. But Eli Reyes sat still. Wrapped hands. Head down. Breathing slow. Across from him was Dante Vega. Fast. Loud. Always showing off on videos. He pointed at Eli Reyes. "Hope you brought a Leo era. This'll be over quick." Eli Reyes didn't say anything. Logan stood behind him. Just watching. "Stick to what you know," he said. "Ignore the crowd." Eli Reyes nodded. The bell rang. Dante moved fast. He smiled as he dodged. He tried to make people cheer. Eli Reyes stayed calm. Jabbed. Blocked. In round 2, Dante started talking. "Come on, pretty boy. Show me what Hollywood taught you." One punch hit a little too hard. It wasn't cheating, but it was mean. Eli Reyes's hands tensed. He almost threw a big punch. But then, he remembered Jason's words. "Don't hit someone in the face just because they insulted yours. That's not power. That's panic." Eli Reyes stepped back. Took a breath. Reset. Third round. Dante was still loud. Still fast. Eli Reyes didn't fight back the same way. He used Dante's speed against him. When Dante missed, Eli Reyes moved under and hit the body. One clean shot. Dante dropped to one knee. Not knocked out. Just done. The bell rang. The judges held up their cards. Eli Reyes won. He didn't cheer. Just turned to Logan. Gave a small nod. Logan nodded back. Quiet. But proud. The next morning, Logan saw a newspaper on his desk. Someone had circled the title. Logan Cruz, once known for his roar, now leads by silence. He didn't frame it. Just read it. Then place it down. He walked to the gym floor. Watched the new kids warming up. Eli Reyes was there, helping a boy named Leo breathe right. At the exit, a man stood for a moment. Hat low. No Leo era. Just watching. Jason. They looked at each other. Nodded. No words. Later, Eli Reyes sat by the ring, unwrapping his hands. Logan sat nearby. Not too close. "Coach," Eli Reyes asked, "do you ever think we made it?" Logan looked at the gym, at the photo on the wall. He let out a soft breath. "We don't need the applause," he said. "We just need to know. They'll grow taller than we ever did." And in that silence, everything felt just right. Enjoyed the story? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I always love chatting with you. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you won't miss the next wild ride. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, stay curious and keep the adventure alive.